Chris, you haven't stopped. We use the word transition. So you went from hockey to, it sounds like, constant transitioning. Am I correct?
There's a bit there. It was hard where there's about a year where you play golf and because you're living in Florida.
Yeah.
And the weather's nice and you're playing golf and then you're going to games and it was always nice to people. Like I don't know. I just remember like talking to Gretzky a couple times, and I heard stories about. And I remember I was in St. Louis, and I saw him. And people came up to him and he's listen, I'll sign anything, just not while I'm meeting with my family. And literally, he'd send his wife and kids home, Janet and the kids, and he would stay and he'd sign whatever. And I just remember that. So I always tried to treat people really well, like trainers and people who worked in the building and all the security people and stuff. And which is a good thing and a bad thing. So where I'm going with that is, so I was really good buddies with the box office guy. So I got tickets to everything. And part of my deal when I first started, when I talked to Wick there, was that he's like, I can't really pay you, but he's like, I'd like to go to concerts. So I was like, absolutely. He's like, okay, I'll give you free concert tickets. So I literally went to Bon Jovi, Metallica, every show, and I barely paid for half of them, to be honest with you. But they were like the best seats. I literally went 3 days in a row. I went to Lady Gaga. Took my wife to Lady Gaga. I went to Iron Maiden with my buddies because my wife's like Chelsea's like, I'm not going to Iron Maiden. Screw that. And then Katy Perry was the third one. So it's kind of a little bit of everything there in the music world. But so yeah, I was doing that and we were playing golf and I was going to games and I was working. So I was working a little bit, but I only did 12 games that year. And it's like you can drink for free. There's a lounge there and stuff. So it's one day turns into two and four. You're like half in the bag 5 days a week. And then my wife's figuring shit out. So we had young kids. So I was like, okay. So yeah, I was doing that. And then I got really serious about the broadcasting because anything I do, I want to be good. I want to be good at it. I don't want to be half-assed. I don't want to be shitty. I want to be good. And that's been my focus the whole time. And so yeah, I was doing that. And then I actually did landscaping for a little bit too. I had a buddy who I golfed with and he owned a company. And so I was thinking of investing in it. So I was learning how to do it. And I don't know if you've ever done landscaping, but it's hard work. And when you're in Florida, it's really hot and humid. And when it's 95 degrees and the humidity's off the charts, yeah, my shoes halfway through the day, my work boots, you can hear like, shirt, like a dry, like a workout, like a super dry fit, tight one. They would whisk all the sweat. And then I had two other shirts I would switch during the day. And oh yeah, I did that for a little bit and the broadcasting and the radio and then just one thing to another, to be honest with you. They didn't go ahead.
What strikes me most about your journey is the many times you probably were humbled along the way. Because you said that I'm playing in front of 15,000, 17,000, 20,000 people. I'm in the Stanley Cup. People are wearing my name on the back of their jersey, walking around arenas, asking for autographs. You're getting the accolades of a professional athlete. Now you're talking like just a normal dude, like all of us out there. And talk about that transition in your head, Chris.
Sorry. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't like it's hard because it's what you do. And then the first training camp when you don't go, that's the hardest. You train all summer, prepare for training camp because my agent was like, thought he could get me something. And then you don't have a contract or you don't even have a training camp invite. So you're just training and then I went to Europe for a couple of years, but then you're still training, but you're not really sure what you're doing. And then it was good and bad because it's like I was gone because I didn't want to do the Europe thing anymore. Like if I didn't have a wife and kids, because I'm like, what am I doing? My wife's miserable. She came over the second year and she got like there's a European flu or something, a stomach flu. So her and my son like basically puked for 3 days. And I was in Denmark and the washer and dryer were outside. You had to go outside and then around and then down in the basement. And then in Europe, like every cycle takes 2.5 hours. And that was like over Christmas. So that was not a very good Christmas, to be honest with you. But that's right. I was like, okay, what am I doing? And so the transition wasn't too bad. Like it was hard at first. Like and the biggest thing is when you're done, like, who's still your friend? And that's that could be a good thing. So there's people that, hey, well, we're buddies, and then you don't hear from them, and sometimes it's just life because people have kids and people have jobs and stuff and all that sort of stuff. But then there's the flip side of it where there's people you didn't think you're that good friends with or buddies, and then they call you and like, how you doing? Everything good. So I was lucky. I had a pretty good network of friends, and I kept the same group of friends since elementary, junior high.
One of the themes that I'm gathering from some of the retired pros that I speak to is surrounding yourself with people outside of your team. And what I mean by team is your immediate hockey team or pro football team or baseball team. Keep people around you that helped you get there, because when the game is done, you need those people to be there when you're done. Is that similar advice you would give to an athlete right now who's going through their career?
Start thinking about what you want to do. Is the biggest thing is that you never know how long you're going to play. You don't have to live like everybody else. This is what you do. It's what you've always done. You don't want to think about anything else. And yeah, it doesn't last for very long for a lot of people. So that's the biggest thing is like think about what you want to do when you're done. Even when you're playing, like that's the biggest mistake maybe I did or didn't do is that not everyone can get into broadcasting. Not everyone can just hop into something. And most guys, you don't make enough that you could just retire and do nothing. So that's maybe the biggest misconception is that, hey, you just play and you make all this money and you just shut her down and play golf and hang out and drink beer. It's not the case for a lot of guys. So that'd be my, I guess maybe my best advice would be start thinking what you want to do and start having an exit plan.
It's poignant advice in the same breath because there's this perception amongst fans, audience, that these guys make all this money. What are they doing working again? Why are they calling on me at a why are they landscaping? Not everybody's making Gretzky or Coffee or Matthews or McDavid money, right? So there's more guys not than are, and guys have to go back to work, right?
Let's say I never made $1 million, but if you make $1 million, what's that after tax? It's 650 maybe. The more you make, the more you spend. The more you get for free too, because I tell you, when you're done playing, you don't get free sticks or free equipment anymore. So that's a real eye opener. Because the CCM guy that used to take care of me, he's like, "Hey, can I get a stick or two?" It's like, "Yeah, sure. Let me whatever." So,
Never thought about that part, right? Not only are people not taking your phone calls anymore because you're not Chris Dingman, the hockey player, you're not getting the free shit anymore either.
Yeah, the same guys. You're like, "Hey, you use our stuff and use it." So you're asking for a lot, but I was really nice people. I was really good to the trainers. So every time I got traded, I left with a lot of stuff. So I'm still using my laundry bags from Colorado, and actually my kids are using them, which is crazy because I was back. I got traded there in 1999, and Smokey was a trainer there. He was awesome. He's a little shorter guy and he had a huge mustache. I make him laugh every day. I'm like, I'm gonna make you laugh every day. He's like, no, you're not. So I'd wheel in and put a jock strap on and do a couple stretches and jumping jacks, and then just a jock strap. So he would start laughing and do that. And then they open a Krispy Kreme. So every morning I bring him in. The other trainer, I'd bring him in a couple 2-4s of donuts. And again, you just treat people well. Like I think because those guys, they work hard and they're the ones like you.
Yeah.
When you land, you go to the hotel. They're going to the rink. And this is a funny story actually. So they had the 30th anniversary of the Lightning, and back in March, and they started the Wall of Fame, and they inducted Phil Esposito and Marty St. Louis and Vinny Lecavalier.
Mhm.
So they invited everybody, like pretty much all the players from all the years. And I went. There's Brian Boyle, there's Dan Boyle, there's Callahan, there's Chris Contos, Chuck was there, Modine, St. Louis, Montreal was in town. So guys from all different eras, and Teddy Purcell is another name. So, anyways, every night's doing something or having a few beers, and then so one night we're at the bar, and Callahan's like, "Hey, Derek, come have a beer, Callie," and I was like, "I don't know, I'm gonna go to bed." Because they're getting an Air Canada flight to leave on time out of Canada. It's just not going to happen. So we had a long travel day, whatever. Anyways, first time not having kids in about 3 years. First time we were alone. Anyways, the next day I was like, "Oh, how's it going, man? How's the night last night?" He's good. And I said, "What'd you guys do?" And he said, "Oh, we just went to the room, hung out in the room." I was like, "Whose room?" He's like, "Locker room." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I texted Molly. Don Mulligan's one of the trainers. He's like, texted Molly. He picked us up when they got home from the airport. So I guess the team had landed. I didn't know. Like, so we got in before the team. Like we were there for the Saturday night game, and the induction was on Friday night. And so, anyways, they got with the trainer, and the trainers picked them up and they helped them unpack the gear. And they were having beers till about 4 in the morning. So I was like, "What time did you do that to?" He's like, "About 4." And I'm like, "That's like awesome." There's no other sport where guys like that, you're helping the trainers out to unpack equipment and do laundry until 4 in the morning. But the cultures there really, like when you talk about culture and accompany them with environmental 360 solutions, the culture is really good. And so when winning teams, and
Yeah.
we won in 2004, and then they've won a couple cups since, and because you had St. Louis was still there and a few guys, and then Stamkos and Edmund, and they were young players, and now the culture is unbelievable. Where this is how we do things. We're professional. We're about winning, and it's a big thing. Like people don't understand. And same with companies. Like when you like where you work, and it makes your life easier. It makes you want to work harder. And obviously you want to make money too, but there's more things that are more important. Like for me, I just wanted a 3-year deal. I could never get a 3-year deal. I could only get 2.